Hello traders, Gary Wagner with the Gold Forecast here. November the 10th, it is Wednesday, and this is the Daily Report. Approximately 7 o'clock in Honolulu, Hawaii. New York has been active and open for quite some time now. And we have seen this market literally all over the board. Came in after it took out those lows yesterday at 81, went back, made some new highs on the day, only to be sold off very, very hard to about 1386, and that was intraday this morning. Since then, about 1383, as you can see by this low here. Since then, it has staged an absolutely nice rally and does appear as though it has formed a double bottom when we look at our 30-minute chart here. And you can also see that it's formed, I would say quite eloquently, a pretty good base at this point, right at 1384, 1385 in that area, a very, very strong base. So there's no doubt there is very, very good support in that area. Of course, traders, we took profits yesterday on our long trade when the market came down. We quickly re-entered the market, traders, and took that trade, are in roughly at 1393, call it 1394. We've seen the market substantially higher in the 14 and teens again, and as I said, as low as almost 1380. The interesting thing that we're finding is that it does appear as though it's forming a base. However, through the day, this particular candlestick here, this daily, has changed. And what I mean by that is when we were on those lows earlier today, it actually was forming what's called a shooting star, although it wasn't gapped above it. And now, of course, it's back to being a smaller bodied white and red candle, what we call an empty bodied candle. If we look at our weekly chart, something interesting is also happening. Now, it is midweek, but as you can tell, this has also been a doji-like candle. And the dojis in the weekly are particularly foreboding on the top. I've seen it time and time again. Now, if this candle does not, in fact, stay this way, there's a couple of days of trading, we could easily see that change. But it is something worth noting. As you can see, here's a Three River Evening Star that we got when we had the contract high of 1265. When we take a look at our daily chart with our Fibonacci extensions, I think you're going to find something interesting. Now, the Fibonacci extension on the left is simply an extension off of wave number 3. It's the same length as 3. It begins its projection from the bottom of wave 4 and then projects up the full length of the wave, the top of that being 1461. 50% of that move is what I find interesting, 1387, because when you look at 1387, 1388, of course, is the top. And then if we carry it over, you'll notice this is where we're currently looking at support. So that also gives me an indication that we should find good support, but this is also a very critical area. In other words, it needs to hold this ground right in this area. That's something we'll see as it trades through the trading day and, of course, into the evening. The other thing that we talked about yesterday that's absolutely worth noting is that when we consider the highs and the lows right in this particular area and the absolute range that it's had, that if we are going to truly get what we talked about yesterday, which is a complex wave with a count, and as I said, if we will reach this top, this 1488, it's still a big if. Traders, we've got to get back over 1400. That's got to become support. I don't really see that as an issue, but that is something that it isn't doing currently. So we have to see that. If it does, and this is base forming, so to speak, in other words, we don't witness more of a correction here, I think that personally, this next leg should take us up probably to either 1426 or 1461. Traders, we're looking at a 60-minute chart, but I've pressed it so we can show a lot of data in there. And as you can tell, I'm spending a lot of time today looking at support and resistance levels, because as we climb and we've hit these record tops and come off of it, back off of it, we do actually have targets or areas where we can use more traditional means of price forecasting just in terms of support and resistance. It's pretty easy to see this double bottom right in here. We've got real good support, obviously, 1320. The top here and the bottom here, this is what I'm matching up with our what I'll call superlative support. This is the major support that we have right now, and that is 1380, roughly 1381. That was the low that we had intraday. I would say that that will remain very, very strong support. But as you can see, we are getting a traditional, nice uptrending market in which the market will move up and retrace, and we will have a series of higher lows as the market moves up. And that, of course, is indicative of what we want to look at. Of course, it'll form its top, it'll move back down. But again, here we go. We're getting a series of higher lows, and that's what's telling me that even though this market is running around, it has a lot of range and it's very volatile, we can't deny the fact, technically as well as fundamentally, that this market is, in my opinion, extremely, extremely bullish, even as the market moves up and down. This has been Gary Wagner, wishing you, as always, good trading. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.